Hey y'all, can y'all hear me? Hey y'all, can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me or you can't. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Hey y'all, Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. You just call him up and tell him what you want. I have to see me. Hey, Sheriff, it's the Royal Ace. All right. If you're sick and you can't get well, tell them what you want. Oh, hey, y'all. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. Getting my lipstick and my bonnet on my way to school. Oh, Lord. But I want to come on here. I came on yesterday afternoon. I had to get off because I had to go speak to my therapist. Then guess what? Found out. I forgot. I don't see my I don't speak to my or have my session with my therapist yesterday. I have it today. And what she was doing was she was sending me the link for the appointment for tomorrow. So I thought like, oh my god, I missed my session. Let me get off here. So it was on. That's why I was only briefing only 7 minutes. So I was like, okay, I definitely gotta come back on here. So yeah. So I've been reading articles and reading. I got this notification on this article, and they said that Mark Hamill made a really beautiful 2-word tribute to James Earl Jones on Twitter, right? It was, I think, and I put the article in the descriptions by the Mirror US, and I also put the link to my last video. It's about 7 minutes, and it's to that video in case you didn't see it, and I went to actually Mark Hamill. I actually follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, so I went to his actual or ex formerly on the Twitter page, and I saw the tweet, and I was just when I read the article and I found out what the 2 words were, because I was like, "What's the 2 words?" And then I saw what the 2 words were. Y'all, I almost fell off. I said, "Lord, look, Miss Daddy too, look, Miss Daddy too." And in case you um yes, exactly, very distinct of the sheriff is, and so I I and when I saw it, I was like, it really touched me because I was like, okay, because I said yesterday in my video, I said, as far as I'm concerned, my daddy died yesterday morning. I said, I grew up watching James Earl Jones. I think about all his movies, TV, everything. Please don't let me get pulled over. There was a cop. Look, he about to roll down here. Sir, I don't have time today. Please. Yeah, R.I.P. King. And so, and there are other entertainers who sent out their tributes and stuff like that. There was one about Henry Winkler, the Fonz. There was one by Roland Martin. I think he put on his ancestor. Then it was some, and that's like I said, in addition to Mark Hamill, it was some other people. Even the United States Navy to yeah, did a tribute to him because he's actually a veteran. Which I should have went to the Army page to see what they put. But the U.S. Naval Institute, was the U.S. Navy, U.S. Naval Institute, they said, R.I.P. to James Earl Jones. He was a veteran who used his GI Bill to go to college, and which he did. And they said, I think it was the movie. Is it the movie The Hunt for Red October, or is it another movie where he played an admiral in the Navy, and they had him in the admiral uniform? So I was like, oh. And they also, some people had The Sandlot. and some had Field of Dreams. You know, somebody it was it's cute, but it was gonna make me cry. So okay, so you know in Field of Dreams it says if you build it, they will come, right? And they had one where it was like heaven, and it was a field, it was a baseball field, and it looked like I guess the angel was supposed to be him. And he says, if you build it, they become. And I was just like, I can't stand it, God. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I just thought it was just it was two words because, okay, most of y'all should know, in case there are people who are young or too young. In 1978, I think 80 and 82, and even when I grew up in 77, I still watched all those movies when they come on TV. So I grew up watching Star Wars and Star Trek, but that's another thing. But Star Wars, and so some of y'all are like, oh, Star Wars episode 4. No, the episodes wasn't even numbered back then. So the first one was Star Wars, then I think it was Empire Strikes Back, and the third one was the Return of the Jedi. Okay, so basically in part 1 you had the I guess it's the Emperor. And then, like, his right-hand man was, like, Darth Vader. And he was, like, enforcing, basically, he was basically a dictator, and Darth Vader was the enforcer. But then there was people who was fighting against them who basically, and they were called the Republic. There was, like, a Senate or whatever, but they were supposed to have power. They really didn't. And it was just, like, the Emperor just did what he wanted to do. And then he had Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers worldwide. So, and Darth Vader was, like, above them. So, but they used, like, there was the Force, but then there was also like a Dark Force. So the Darth Vader, they used the Dark Force. So then the Jedi, think of them as the Knights or maybe like the Musketeers of what was considered the Rebels. They were like, well, actually the Jedi were like, I would say like maybe Knights or I don't know, Knights, Ninjas, Musketeers type people, and they, I guess, were like an order. I think you can say a religious order, you know, and they lived by a code and they studied and there was apprenticeship and everything like that, and you rose up in ranks. And there were supposed to be Jedis in the Empire. There were supposed to be Jedis in addition to stormtroopers. And so what ends up over time is the Jedi was like, hey, we think y'all are using the dark force, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. This is really against it. And so they were like, so the Jedi was like, started working with the rebels. And then so the Emperor was like, okay, you Jedi, if y'all not gonna be compliant, we're just I want to outlaw your existence. And then if people can basically they can hunt them. So there was this one Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he went to this planet. As in the first Star Wars, and he's basically saying, "Hey, he's like mentoring this young boy, teenage boy named Luke, who lives on a farm with his aunt and uncle, and his parents are deceased. But the Obi-Wan says, "Hey, I knew your parents." But he only comes around if the uncle doesn't know that he's around. And he's like, "Uncle, why come you don't come?" He says, "Well, you know, the Jedis we're not really out. You know, we're not really favored right now. You know, it's very dangerous." And he's like, "Plus, I don't think your uncle ever really. Me and your dad and your parents got along, but not your dad, not him, not that uncle." So he lives with the uncle, and uncle's like a farmer on this like just kind of dystopian planet. And then he's like, but then Luke like takes like different objects and he like turns them into stuff. And so he has R2D2 is his like pet or something like that. The one that goes okay. So and then in secret, Obi-Wan actually is teaching Luke about the Force, right? So, and while that is happening, there's this princess, her parents were killed, and she's assisting, Sorry. I forgot the floss. Thank you. He's yeah. What's the one with this? Oh, she's assisting the rebels using her position because no one's gonna suspect her, right? And so, and then she has like an assistant too, but her assistant is like a tall, golden robot. What's the robot name? Who in the chat? What's the robot name, y'all? That's her friend. But later on, her robot and R2D2 are gonna hook up together and they're gonna help save them. Okay, but anyway, spoiler alert. So we go through two. So they started out. Okay, so they kind of like start rounding up Jedi's, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi basically gets Luke. They have to leave the farm. And so he's trying to get him to somebody else who can teach him more about the Force. Because he has to get him to the green guy, Yoda. Okay? And Yoda's like really ancient and high up amongst the Jedi, right? And so, but this, and so while this is happening, he needs to get off this planet, so he ends up hooking up with Han Solo and Chewbacca, his friend, who's like a big, hairy, tall dude. And then they later on hook up and get with Princess Leia, and then they all are, in a way, this rebel band that decide to, fight against the Emperor and Darth Vader. So what ends up happening is Luke and I guess their parents left them some type of message, and Luke and Leia found out that they're actually twins that got separated at birth, and they got the same parents. The reason why Princess Leia is because her mother was a princess, and then when her mother died, she gave her parents to another senator, and that's why also Princess Leia ends up also. I think she actually ends up being in the Senate. Right? I don't know, but the senator ended up raising her, and then and Obi-Wan Kenobi knew this. He knew this. He the uncle, right, that was of Luke was also the uncle is actually his great uncle. So actually his great uncle raised his father. So when they went and got the baby, he just like, I'm taking him, and I'm gonna make sure that he doesn't do none of this Jedi stuff, because here's why he's mad at Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, I let you take his father, Anakin Skywalker. That's why he gets Skywalker. Luke Skywalker. So Leia's name really is Leia Skywalker. And he said, I let you take him, get him into this Jedi stuff, and then he turned bad and became, spoiler alert, Darth Vader, because he switched to the Dark Force. So we don't find out so that's why he takes Luke and go back to the planet. And he's like, I never want to see you. I think he may have threatened to kill him, and that's also why Obi-Wan Kenobi never saw Luke Skywalker, like never knocked on the door and like said, hey, I'm here to visit, because he wouldn't have been welcome there. So then it's in the third, I want to say it's in the third movie, we finally get some, I guess, solutions to everything. Han Solo and Leia become a couple, and Hans had thought Luke and Leia were like a couple, but they were not. It was just that they were close because they really are brother and sister. And then so Luke actually loses his arm, and he loses his arm in a battle with Darth Vader, who he finds out, and Darth Vader throughout all these movies is voiced by the late great James Earl Jones. And then the late great James Earl Jones also comes back to voiced Darth Vader, I believe it's episode, because they were in episodes then. So if we would go chronological order, right? The ones that came out in the 90s, where we see Anakin Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker, that's episode 1. Then we get episode 2, and then we get episode 3. And episode 3 is when we get where Anakin becomes Luke Skywalker and his wife dies, and then they split the kids and they go, separate ways. The episode 4 that we saw came out in 1978. Then episode 5, and then so episode 5 was like the Republic, and then episode 6 was the Return of the Jedi, because not all the Jedi's return, and then they have Lucas recruit, and they got some other folks who's hot, and so they all fight, and they win. So in episode 6, that's where it kind of ended, and then I think in the 2010s, around where Marvel was doing the comic book movies and stuff like that, that's where we started getting movies that was talking about, okay, so what was this is the last round of the Star Wars movie that came out. I think there was one where it was like a prequel to what we consider episode 4, is because Princess Leia, she was asked, because she's working with the rebels, she was supposed to receive something to help the rebels. So we got to see, I forgot, what was it? I think it was Star Wars Rogue One. We got to see what the rebels were working on, and then how it got delivered to her. Yeah. And then the next, I guess it would be episode 9. Because in episode 9, we basically see that basically Princess Leia is now a general. Han Solo and her split. He's somewhere else. They did have a son. The son became a Jedi under Luke, but then he turned bad like his grandfather, and basically became like a new version of Darth Vader. And then from time to time, he would have his helmet, his Darth Vader's helmet, and would speak to it. And I want to say there was a couple of times in the movie, like we heard it was either it was his imagination or it really was Darth Vader from the Force speaking to the new Darth. I forgot what was his new name. And so it was like we were still getting in 2010s, we were still getting James Earl Jones, we were still getting that voice. Can I go here or should I? Tell me not to do it. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah. What else I was going to say? Yeah. So we, since the 70s, at least for me, like I've grown up, and this is not even including. So I just thought it was just a really moving tribute when Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in the movies, because he does come back in the second, I think, episode 10, when he needs to, because he's been in hiding, because he wasn't able to stop his nephew from coming dark like his father was, and then the father feels like, oh, you're not following in grandfather's footsteps, and he's like, oh, and in episode 3 is when he tells them when they're fighting, Luke and Darth Vader are fighting. Oh, he has to be in that suit because he can't live without it because he got burnt real bad. In episode 3, we see how he got burnt and how he got into the suit. And then during the fighting, he's about to die. And I think he's like gonna hold him, or like they're dangling over something. I think that's how he lost his hand. And he tells him, save yourself, Luke. I think in a way when he gets off the helmet and stuff, he's like, save yourself, Luke, I'm your father. And that's when he's like my father, you know. So, and then and I want to say the sister, yeah. So yeah, it's complicated. And so yeah. But I want to say I saw episode 10. I actually need to sit down and I don't know what happened with me. I need to sit down and watch episode 12, 11, and did 12 come out? 11 and 12. I think 11 and 12. Hey, DSA1. So that's what I need to do. Maybe I should have a James Earl Jones night. No, I'm supposed to have a Lou Gossett Jr. night. Never did that. So I don't know. So, but I also watched his other movies. Claudine. He was a garbage man, a working class garbage man who fell in love with a single mother of 4 or 5 kids living in the projects, and it was like a working class love story. He wanted to marry her and be with her, but it was like if he gets married, then they're like, oh, you have income, and then he actually has kids from his previous marriage that he is not paying child support for. So he actually like becomes an instant dad for a second time. Then at the same time, it's like you have other kids you didn't provide for, and then it's like if he marries Claudine, she gets off of the welfare and everything like that. And then one of her sons is like he's into this, wants to be a militant Black Panther type, and one of her daughters gets pregnant, and it's like the cycle continues. So they're going through things, but I still like hey, it was a working class Black love story. Like, and then they did get married, and they ended up, oh crap, something happened. Okay. Yes, I saw him in Conan the Barbarian. Yes, I did. Thank you. I forgot about that. Saw him in Conan the Barbarian when he had a little thing on his head. Wasn't Grace Jones in Conan the Barbarian? Oh Lord, now I'm in a traffic jam. Y'all pray for me. And I also saw him in the was it Family Affair or Family something? He was Black, and him and his half brother who came out white like his dad. They're different, of course, different dads. And so but his mother died in childbirth, and he always blamed his white brother for doing that. And his white brother got to go live with his white father and white stepmother, but he never knew that his mother was actually white until his mother was actually Black until he found out his stepmother would die, and she left a will. And in her will, she left, well, I guess, a letter. And she explained everything to him. She said, hey, you're my son, and I love you, and I raised you, but I'm not your biological mother. You were actually the mother of a Black lady. I want to say the Black lady actually worked for them, and she got pregnant by my husband, and she already had children, and they were Black, but then you came out as a white baby. And so there was like, oh, she couldn't raise them. But when he first saw his brother, he kissed him. He actually loved him. And then they took the baby, and then his mother died, I guess, from complications of the procedure, and which she probably shouldn't have if she actually gone to a hospital. But this was like the late 50s and 60s, so he wasn't gone. Where was the Black hospital at? And if she come out with a white baby, they're going to, she might get into some more trouble. So basically, the white man ends up going down south was it down south or what, somewhere, to look for his family, and it becomes like an adventure. It was a really good movie. I want someone to see it. There's also The Sandlot. He was the neighbor next door that you accidentally threw the ball over the fence. He would keep your ball. And the kids later on found out that he was an actual baseball from Negro Leagues baseball player. And then in Field of Dreams, Um, Kevin Costner's character. Oh crap! They say TEA is at our school today. Shoot. Are they the reason for the traffic jam? Good thing I updated my boards. Okay. Before I left work yesterday. Crap. Okay. Can y'all see me? Okay. What was else I was gonna say? I think he was in the Hunt for Red October. He was the Admiral. I think that was the movie. Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Um, he was in another movie. I think he went back on Broadway. He was. I want to say he was in the play with Felicia Rashad. I think it was a black version of A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. And then I think he did a. I want to say he did a either. I might be mixing him up with Lou Gossett Jr. I want to say James Earl Jones did a movie with Cicely Tyson, but I might be mistaken. And by the way, I don't. Maybe y'all know the story about James Earl Jones. He actually stuttered as a child, or he especially when he got nervous, and so he would. So he's very withdrawn, and he started reading, and it's like when he started, I guess he took an acting class or did something with poetry or something. I guess it helped him to formulate the speaking smoothly. And so, oh, y'all, I think I did something wrong. Oh, I did something wrong, y'all. I did something wrong. I did something wrong. I did something wrong. I did it wrong, 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 wrong. Lord. Wait, this actually will get me. Okay, going that way, y'all. This will just get me. Lord Jesus. Lord, direct my path today. Please protect me, Jesus. Jesus will fix it after a while. Okay. He started, it was helping him with his problem, and he started acting. I want to say it was high school and it was college. He went into the military, the GI Bill, and he also. Lord, today my brain is not working correctly today. Jesus will fix it after a while. Okay, I see where I'm going now. I'm going in the right direction. May not come when you want it, but be right on time. Be on time. Jesus. Whew, fix it, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Protect me. This job I got to go to. Oh, I kept talking while I was stuck in church. Yeah, because. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, he and I want to say, I hope I'm not mixing him up with what's his name, Carl Weathers, but I could be. I want to say his major was theater arts or fine arts, I think. What's the English? I look it up. He's been married twice. They're both white women. He has one son named Flynn Earl Jones. He has a brother named Robert Earl Jones. His first wife, he divorced her after 4 years, and then he got married in 1982 to his second wife. Both wives were actresses, so I don't think he just met them at work. Um, let me see. Let's see. But to be honest with you, I didn't know his wife was white until I think a couple of years ago. I was like, really? So, like, oh. But at the same time, I never seen him say or do anything anti-black. You know, um, yeah. Oh, I can go. It's green arrow. All right, y'all. And but yeah, we had him also in the Lion King, Mufasa, and then when they did the live action Lion King, he came back. He was Mufasa. Then in Coming to America, he was King Joffrey. Let me see. Roscoe Jenkins, he was somebody daddy. Um, Cat on High to the Move, hell, he was Big Daddy. Then so it was right up the alley when gotta slow down. It was right up the alley, when I saw Mark Hamill's tribute, and he said hashtag RIP Dad. I was like, look, Big Daddy James too. We had to plan the funeral. We wanted to make sure Mark get to the funeral. He speak. Also, I like Mark Hamill's tribute to the guy who voiced the Batman for so many decades. He had a very because Mark Hamill also does voice work, and he used to voice the Joker, and he did one great. I have to post it of let me take this off now. Of oh shit, shoot, excuse me, my bad. I apologize. Oh Lord, be a fence around me every day. You take me, just on the way. Yes, Lord, I'll be a fence around me every day. Yeah. So, but yeah, Lord, I just got water today. What is going on in my brain? I'll be every day. Trapped in the red sea, but I need no Pharaoh. And he's armies. Is this part open? Oh, okay, okay, get up. I don't know why I said because of this video. Get this lady. It was a real song from back in the day. And it was like, get up off of that cocaine and get off of that crack and get yourself together and get your mind back. I was like, man, this was a real song back in the day. So, but I hate it. Jesus, we'll fix it. After a while, Jesus will fix it. After a while. Okay, someone took my idea. That's okay. Get up off of that cocaine. Get up off of that crank. Get yourself together. Get your mind back. Okay. Mm. Oh, I see Miss Terry is here. Oh, same people name. You don't know her. But I was looking for her the other day. I was like, I don't see her in the hallway. Oh, Jesus. I could have sworn I just saw a person's face. Lord, y'all pray for me and my brain today. I'm really am discombobulated. Get off of that cocaine. Get off of that crack. Get yourself together. Get your mind. You were there. Get off of that cocaine. Get off of that crack. Get yourself together. Okay. Get your mind back. Okay, this is not a good one. This spot. And the moral of the story is, children, get up earlier, leave work house earlier, get to school earlier. Be a responsible person. Be better than Miss Transcript this morning, okay? Be better than Miss Transcript this morning. Get up off of that cup. And to be honest with you, I thought I wasn't even gonna make it to work today. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, no, I'm not gonna miss another A day. I said, no, I'm not gonna miss another A day. I'm going in today. Luckily, this class they're actually ahead. Um, but still, I feel like I missed more A days than I've done B days. And even though I had valid medical excuse. Oh, I got to follow up with my OBGYN, y'all. I'm trying to figure out why is it in November and not on the week I'm off. But I was like, you know what? I have other doctor's appointments I need to make that week too. So I told you that they had found two uterine fibroids, right? Okay. All right. Thank y'all for listening to me. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all pray for me. Protection, my job, me, the students, schools. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye. R.I.P. Daddy James.